Hi everyone, my name is Roxanne. I'm a registered nurse here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Making this video for my friends and relatives and for everyone to share my experience and to tell you what I did, and it just my own experience. So it just depends if you will do the same thing or um, I just want to inform you what the COVID-19 did to me and how I was able to surpass it. Okay, so it started April 1 when it was a Wednesday and I had to go to work at 10. I work nights, so 10 to 6. I noticed before I went to work I had a runny nose out of nowhere. So I was just drinking water. And so when I went to work, they had our temperature check and everything. I didn't have any temperature. I mean, like, no fever. And then I was okay. So I worked, but I noticed midnight I had like suddenly had a sore throat. So that was the first symptom that I got, was a sore throat. So I have this with me all the time. So I was just putting hot water and I was just keep drinking hot water the whole time. So the morning came, 6 a.m. when I had to be relieved. The nurse noticed that I lost my voice. So it was so fast. It's just a matter of hours. I lost my voice. And so I was not super concerned that it was COVID because um, in my facility we didn't have any positive yet, and I was not exposed, not that I know of. And so, but I was a little scared. So when I went home, I have 3 girls, and so I was just wearing masks, and I like told them to stay away from me. So it was so Thursday morning, I went to sleep. When I woke up, because I had to go work again the same time, I noticed that the sore throat was just really painful. So I just like go to work again, but I was not feeling better. So they checked my temperature. I didn't have fever, and then so I worked. I was wearing double mask and everything. I was so careful because I was scared that I could have had it. But then so I had so when I'm got out of work Friday, April 3 morning, I went straight home, and I was just really feeling very sick. And so the sore throat won't go away. It was getting worse. So I called because I had to work again in my second job. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So Friday, I called and I said I couldn't go work. I'm just really sick. And they were like, "Do you have fever and everything?" And I said, "No, but I'm just gonna try to rest. And so they said, "Okay." So I went to sleep. But then when I woke up at 2 p.m. Friday, that was April 3, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like like the air would just like stuck in here in my throat. So I'm like, oh, this is serious. I think this is COVID. And I was feeling cold, chilly. And so I said I have to go to urgent care. So I went to urgent care. I waited for 2 or 3 hours because if you have COVID symptoms, they like let you wait and all that. So and and when I finally got checked, my temperature was 101.8. So I had a high, not really high fever, but I had a fever, and my sore throat was really worse. And so the doc, and then my coworker called me that we have one positive patient. I mean, we had one confirmed patient that was positive, and I was taking care of her the last time when I worked there. Um, so the doctor asked if I was exposed and all that. So they got me tested right away, and then he just prescribed Tylenol for the fever. That's it. Said do not take ibuprofen, just a Tylenol. So I said, okay. So immediately I called my family friend to get my kids because I don't want to see them. I don't want to go near them because I know like 75% that I could have had it because I really felt my head was so, I mean, like I had a severe headache. I never felt like that before. My back was aching and, you know, really bad body aches. And so she got my kids and everything. As the doctor said, quarantine yourself for 14 days. Just take Tylenol for the fever and just, you know, hydrate yourself and just stay at home. And after the result will be in 3 to 5 days. And call your work that you cannot go work unless you have a negative result. So I said, okay. I went home. The kids were gone. And so my aunt had to pick them up. She had to drive like 18 hours to bring them to another state, Oregon, because I had to be quarantined by myself. So I'm here at the house. The first thing I did was I was boiling ginger and lemon. So boiling, and then I was boiling water, put ginger, and then slice the lemon, and then squeeze the juice in here. So I have this one, and then put it there and put the hot water and just keep drinking it because they said you have to keep your body warm. I turned on the heater because to kill that virus. And so when I went home, I told my family that I could possibly have it. So they were praying and they were telling me do this, do that. So one thing also with the ginger and the lemon, you can also, I also did put baking soda, just a pinch, and then just keep drinking it. Because one thing it did to me is it made my throat really dry. Like even if you keep drinking water, it dries your throat in just a matter of minutes. So you have to moisten your throat by drinking warm water, hot warm water. So, and then one thing also that helped me a lot was this one. You boil. I was using this one. It's a big thing. So you have to put water, boil it, and then put salt. I used Himalayan salt, but you can use regular salt, you know, the white one, and sea salt. And so you boil it, put the salt in it, and then when it's really, really hot, the steam that gets, that comes out of it, you just like inhale it, cover yourself with a blanket, and just feel it inhale in your mouth, and then, exhale with also slowly. You just have to feel it go in your lungs, to your throat, and so it gives you relief. And you're gonna be sweating a lot, so you feel, at least make you feel better. So that's what I did. So when I wake up in the morning, I do that. And so when I noticed that I lost my sense of taste, and it was so bitter, my tongue was so bitter, all your mouth was so bitter, and also I noticed that I couldn't smell anymore anything. So I didn't want to eat. I lost my appetite. But I just kept trying. I thank God I have really good friends. They brought me food. They just put it outside of my door, and soup. I would suggest just keep eating soup, some rice, brown rice, and because less sugar. Oh, one thing that also predisposed me to be vulnerable and have the COVID, because I know I have diabetes. I'm not taking any medicine because I was just trying to control it through diet, but I know when I check my sugar, it's really high. So that's one thing, because if you have underlying illness, it makes you vulnerable to have to be infected with COVID. So on my bedside, I have my thermometer, and my blood pressure cuff, and also this one. This one is really, really important. This is called a pulse oximeter to check your oxygen saturation. So you can just buy this in any, you know, medical supply. So it's gonna show. So right now it's 98, and this is my heart rate. So when I was in the beginning, for the first days, it was always 93, 94, 95. So the normal would be at least 92 and above. So if it goes 92 and below, I mean like 90, at least 93 and above. If it goes 92 and below, that means you need supplemental oxygen because your organs will fail, you know. You need oxygen. So that's what the reading should be. So that's very important. And also, oh yeah, I showed you the thermometer. So to check your vital signs all the time. So when you are at home, because that's gonna make you see what's the status of your body. So my blood pressure was high, but thank God to TikTok, I was like trying to dance and exercise. It is important that even though you feel sick, really sick, you have to move around. You cannot just lay down there and you know, you have to do something to move around to keep the blood circulating. So I was trying to really dance, and so after that, when I checked my vital signs, my blood pressure is good, and also my oxygenation. But anyways, so as the day passed by, oh, my friend, I have also a good friend, keeps asking me if I need something. So she ordered online. This one is a vaporizer, also from Vicks. I believe it helped me to, you know, to breathe. You put it in your bedroom. So I turn it on before I go to sleep, and so I know it helped a little bit. And then, so when I get a chance to eat, I force myself to eat. I take vitamin C. It's 1,000. You have to take this with food, or else it's gonna burn your stomach. So I take this too, because to strengthen my immune system. And also I have this Sicilian water. You just put it on your water and make it alkaline. So just keep on drinking water, make your body alkaline, eat fruits and vegetables. That's all I eat. No meat for that time being, because meat is acidic, and you know, you just want to keep your body really alkaline. So that water, and of course oranges, more vitamin C, and banana is also important for potassium. So those are the main, you know, fruits and vegetables that I was just taking every single day. And then and so what happened, I thought I was like okay, and I just doing the same thing over and over again. And so the day 8, I noticed, it was also a Friday. No, it was no Thursday night. Thursday night, I noticed that my breathing was kind of labored. I had shortness of breath already. So I'm like, oh, this is not good. And my oxygen saturation, when I check, it will just be 92, 93, 94. It wouldn't go higher than 94. It would mostly stay 92. So I'm like, oh, this is not good. And so well, I was also taking this one. This is from EXL Millennium. This is very good also for your immune system. And so what happened, I got really I had trouble breathing, and so I decided to go to the hospital, because the doctor told me to just take Tylenol, but if you have trouble breathing, then that's the time that you have to go to the emergency room. So I was waiting, at night, and then when morning came like 6 a.m. I didn't sleep. That's the 8th day of being quarantined. And so I'm like, whatever position I, to make, I really couldn't breathe. It's not relieving anything. So I just brought my ID and everything, drove myself to the emergency room. So when I got to the emergency room, my oxygen was 87. So it's really low. And so I was like having shortness of breath, and my temperature was 101.8. And I told them I'm positive of COVID and I'm having shortness of breath. So they brought me to the room, isolated me, and then immediately they gave me azithromycin IV. So I still have bruises here. And then they took blood, blood cultures and everything, chest x-ray, and they did CT scan. And at first I didn't have oxygen yet because I was trying to breathe. And when they check, my oxygen saturation, when I'm just not moving around, it goes to 94, 95. So I was waiting there in the emergency room for all the results. So, but receiving the azithromycin IV, and also they gave me Tylenol for my fever. I was just waiting there, keep drinking water, and and so they also gave me the hydrochloroquine, 2 tabs. That's the one that they use, they said, for malaria. So those are the 2 medication that they gave me first. And also they gave me this inhaler, albuterol, just 2 puffs, and they said to take it every 4 hours. So when I was still in the emergency room. So later that day, when I was waiting to be transferred to the room, my shortness of breath got worse. And then if I just move and get out of the bed, it will go below 90, like 86, 87. So they decided to put oxygen on me, just 2 liters. So that's why I was wearing oxygen. And then they gave me IV hydration because I know my skin was so dry. Oh, I had diarrhea. I forgot to tell you. I had diarrhea it started like maybe on the 6th day. I had like really watery diarrhea. And then, so that's why I was dehydrated and feeling really weak. And also, I told you, even like at the tip of your hand, when you're trying to open a water bottle, you can feel that it's really painful, your joints, all the muscles. So I said I couldn't understand. I'm like, I thought it's just respiratory, but it affects all of your body. So when I was finally transferred to the room, I was wearing oxygen, and I was just waiting there. So I still didn't want to eat anything, but I had to force myself because I was taking medications and I believe it was strong. So I had to eat. So it was so frustrating when you are like trying to just go to the restroom and you're like striving to breathe. Like when you try to get up, you have to really stop and then deep breathing, so that's to catch your breath. And I started coughing already, and the feeling that when you cough and then there's a phlegm but you couldn't get it out, and it's hard and it's so scary because you have really shortness of breath and you don't want to lose your breath. And so I was wearing oxygen and I was just like really slowly trying to catch my breath, and I was crying because I couldn't imagine that it would come to that point, that even just going to the restroom and you had to catch your breath. So it was really hard, and you're by yourself and you're isolated, so the nurse would just come and would do like all at once whatever you need. So I was And I was trying to look at my phone, and there was a lot of friends, relatives that said that they're praying for me. Thank you very much. But I couldn't stay long, on my phone because I feel dizzy. So I was just there. I couldn't lay flat because I couldn't breathe. So the whole time the bed was just like I was just sitting down, sleeping. And so when I'm sleeping, it's just and every time when I wake up, I would like suddenly sit down because it's like you're drowning. You couldn't breathe, and so it was you feel really um, frustrated, as I said. But I pray, I keep praying that Lord, just give me the strength. I know I still have purpose in life. If you just let me breathe, I would breathe. And my oxygenation, my oxygen level went down to like 72, 74. And I wouldn't tell the nurse, but I just you know, try to really breathe the oxygen in me. And so I would say the 9, 10, 11 days was the worst. So, and my friend that is also positive felt the same way also. So the second week. But I was given also ceftriaxone, that's antibiotic, 2 milligrams IV. So those were the medications that I received at the hospital. Azithromycin, the hydrochloroquine, and the ceftriaxone, together with the albuterol and Tylenol for the fever. So, and also this one really helped. This is called incentive spirometer. So what they said that the virus will cover your lungs, and it makes it hard to expand. So you have to exercise your lungs. You have to do deep breathing exercises, and then this one really helps. I couldn't believe that in the first time I tried, I could just do this. Like I couldn't even lift this one, and the goal is to lift the 3 of them and to keep it like that. So I'm just gonna show you now. I can do the 3. Oh, it's hard. Like that. So that's the goal. But when I started, it's even hard for me to lift this one. So you just inhale and So I tried at least every 1 or 2 hours to use that one to exercise my lungs and really help. So I was at the hospital. My 3rd, 4th day was the time that I felt better. And so like I felt some difference already. So every now and then I remove my oxygen, and then when it goes down, I try to walk a little bit and then put the oxygen again. And so the doctor keep asking, are you okay? I said yes. And I tried to eat as much as I could. And then after, on my 5th day at the hospital, I said, I think I'm ready to go home, because I was beginning to be claustrophobic already, because I was just inside the room. I couldn't go anywhere. And as I told you, even just going to the restroom or moving around, you have to be on oxygen. And it's just, I just suddenly cry. I think of my kids. They don't know I was in the hospital. So I just said, I have to fight this one. I have to really get out of here. I was just praying and, praying so hard. And on the 6th day that I was in the hospital, when I woke up, I just felt like I can breathe without the oxygen. So I removed the oxygen and I was trying to walk. And so I even made one little TikTok just to have some little exercise, and it would go down, but it would not go to the 80s. It's just 91, 92. So I was like, think I'm okay now. I still have the cough and everything, but no more shortness of breath, no more fever. So the fever went away like on my fifth day at the hospital, and then sixth. So on the sixth day, the doctor said, "You're ready to go home," and so just still be quarantined, and if you're 100% feeling better, or 100% back to your normal state, you have to wait 3 more days, and then you can go back to work, or you can go back to your normal routine. So yeah, so I think, so when I went home, I was so happy, and I still feel dizzy. I drove myself home. I was still feeling dizzy, but I just keep sleeping. It's really important to sleep as much as you could, and then just drink warm water most of the time, and ginger and the lemon. Okay. Oh, one important thing also, when I was in the hospital, my really good friend taught me to download the Holy Bible app, because at this time in your life, you need to be also spiritually healthy. So all those times that I was in the hospital that I couldn't look at my phone for so long, I just, because with a Bible app, you can just play it and it will read itself. So I was just listening to the words of God, and it gave me peace, and I was able to sleep just by listening. And when you wake up, you still read it. So it helped me a lot to call upon His name, because He's the Savior, and you believe that He's gonna heal you, and you just fight, and God's will be done, that whatever happened to me, He may use it to His glory. And so what else did I miss? I think that's all. And now I'm back to doing TikTok videos. I still have shortness of breath after, but my oxygenation goes up like right away. So I can feel my lungs expand now. I can talk now. I can taste now. My sense of taste is back, and I can smell now. So I would say that it's really scary, but if you have faith in God, and just keep yourself strong, your immune system, make it really strong to fight COVID, and so you will also surpass if you have it. And just keep on praying, and always wear your mask, wash your hands, stay away from the people, and God is always with us. Thank you for all your prayers, and hopefully this will end soon.